In December 1945, two brothers digging for fertilizer at the base of a cliff in Upper Egypt hit something hard, a ceramic jar, sealed with bitumen. They broke it open. Inside were 13 leather-bound books. Nobody had read them in 1,600 years. One of those books answers a question every Christian has read past 100 times without noticing. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Every Christian can quote that verse, but John never says which God. I spent a long time trying to answer that question. 3 texts answered it. Here's what they say. Most readers hear John 1 and fill in the blank without thinking about it. The Word was with God. Obviously, that's the Father. The Word was God. Obviously, that's Jesus. 2 beings. Done. But watch what happens if you slow down. All things were made by Him, not with Him, by Him. The Word is doing the creating. Then, 13 verses later, the Word becomes flesh, takes a body, walks among us. So the Word is the Creator, and the Word is the Incarnation, which means when John says the Word was with God, he's describing a relationship between 2 divine beings, one of whom is not Jesus, one of whom is the one who eventually becomes Jesus. That's already more beings than most readings of John 1 admit. And John never stops to explain it. He's writing to an audience that already knows. To figure out what John was assuming, I kept coming back to 3 documents. The first is the Gospel of John itself, the text we're trying to decode. The second is the Apocryphon of John, a Sethian Gnostic text from the Nag Hammadi library, dated approximately 2nd to 3rd century CE. It's one of the 13 books those 2 brothers pulled out of the clay jar. It picks up exactly where John 1 starts and reaches back further, tries to describe what existed before, in the beginning. The third is a Restoration-era revelatory text called Before the Beginning. It presents a cosmology that maps onto John 1, with a precision I did not expect when I started reading it. It names what the Apocryphon gestures at. It names what John assumes. John 1 tells us what the Word did. The Apocryphon of John tells us what existed before the Word created. Before the Beginning tells us what the Word sacrificed so that creation could happen. 3 texts, 1 story. None of them tells it alone. When John writes, "In the beginning was the Word," he is reaching back to Genesis. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. But John is making a claim that goes even further back than Genesis. He is saying that before the act of creation, before the first day, there was already something, the Word, that existed. The Apocryphon of John opens in the same place and asks the same question, then answers it in language John assumes, but never writes. The monad is a sovereignty with nothing above it. He is the one who exists as God and Father of everything, the invisible one above all things, who exists in incorruption, in the pure light into which no eye can look. He is immeasurable light, which is pure, holy, and immaculate. He is eternal, since he does not need anything, for he is total perfection. A sovereignty with nothing above it, which means there's a hierarchy, and at the top of it is this, the monad, the one, the invisible. This is the Most High God, El Elyon, the Father above all fathers, the invisible source from whom everything proceeds. He is not the God most people think of when they read the Old Testament. He is the one above that God. No eye has looked on him. No prophet in Israel's recorded history ever saw him directly. When the scriptures talk about seeing God, They are not seeing El Elyon. They are seeing someone El Elyon sent. The God every page of the Old Testament actually describes. The covenant God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God who made the world and called a people and spoke through the prophets, has a name, Jehovah, the only begotten of El Elyon. Not a creation out of nothing, not a separate God, a begotten Son, sharing the same nature, carrying the same light. Jehovah is the being the Hebrew Bible keeps calling the Lord, the God of the covenant, the God of Israel, the one who gave the law, the one who filled the temple, the one who condescended into mortality as Jesus of Nazareth. Read that sentence again. The being who became Jesus of Nazareth is the God of Abraham, not a different God, the same one, the one who walked with the patriarchs, the one who spoke to Moses. That God was always the only begotten Son of a higher Father, not the highest God, the highest God's Son, which means when John says the Word was with God, he's saying the Word was with Jehovah. So the Word is not Jehovah. The Word was with Jehovah, which means the Word is someone else, someone John is describing without naming. The emanation doesn't stop at 2 tiers. From Jehovah comes another Son, the Word, the active, creative power, the one through whom everything is made. And the restoration has a name for him every Christian already knows. Almost nobody connects it to John 1. He's called the Holy Ghost. Not the Father, not Jehovah, the Son of Jehovah, the 3rd tier, the one John 1 is describing. The Godhead isn't a flat triangle, it's a lineage. The Most High begets Jehovah. Jehovah begets the Holy Ghost. 3 beings, 3 tiers, 1 purpose, and the Holy Ghost is the Word. Now, reread John 1 with the 3 tiers in place, clause by clause. In the beginning was the Word. The Holy Ghost existed in the beginning, before creation, already there, and the Word was with God. The Holy Ghost was with Jehovah. 2 beings in relationship, Father and Son, and the Word was God. The Holy Ghost shares the divine nature of Jehovah, a Son carrying the Father's nature, the way Jehovah carries the Most High's. All things were made by him, by the Holy Ghost. Jehovah creates through his Son. The Son is the active creative power. The hands on the work are the Holy Ghost's. Most High, only begotten, Word, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. 3 beings, 3 tiers, 1 perfect order. John isn't writing about one being pretending to be 3. He's writing about 3 beings, in perfect order, doing one work. The invisible Father at the top, the only begotten in the middle, the Word at the bottom, actively making and carrying the life and the light of men. This isn't a correction of John. It's John, finally readable. Before John 1 opens, before Genesis 1 opens, there was a God above all gods, a Son of that God, and a Son of that Son, El Elyon, Jehovah, the Holy Ghost. The Word in John 1 is the Holy Ghost, the Son of Jehovah, the 3rd member of this divine order. He was there before the beginning, and what he gave before the beginning is what made everything else possible. John 1 says all things were made by him. It doesn't say what they were made from. The mainstream answer is nothing. Creation out of nothing. Before the beginning says that's impossible, and names what was given instead. That's the next episode. For now, reread John 1 tonight, with the 3 tiers in place. Watch what it does to every verse. You've been reading past something your whole life. Now you're not. Subscribe to Zion Media and Zion Streaming for the next episode, and we'll see you next time.
Where truth is all